AITA, for changing my wife's clothing sizes without telling her by you, Lurk and Smirk 29. My wife gained some weight over the last year. She keeps beating herself up over it. She's always sad about her sizes and calling herself too big. She lost her excitement with shopping, and a few months ago, I made a step to change that. When we shop, she'll ask me to get things for her while she's in the dressing room. She told me to get a pair of jean shorts for her in a size 6. This size is too small for her now by a lot. She's kind of in denial about this and always asks for a size 6 and then gets very upset when it won't fit at all. She's more of a size 10 or 12 now. So I got a bigger size and changed the sticker on the jeans so it said size 6. When it fit, she was so happy and kept showing me, saying she's so proud. She said she must have lost weight but doesn't know what she did. She bought them feeling very confident with herself. When we got home, I cut the tag off the shorts. I didn't mean to, but a few times after that, I did it again. It was part wanting to see my wife happy and part not knowing how to deal with the same meltdown happening every single time. She looks really beautiful, even if she gained some weight. I kept doing this, and only recently did she realize that the tags on her clothes are missing. She asked me about it, and I said I didn't know. Maybe the store doesn't use them, but she looked it up, and they did. I had to come clean. Now she's furious. She keeps saying I'm an asshole and treated her like an idiot, lied to her, stuff like that. My heart is broken too. We haven't spoken in days. AITA.
Wow. First of all, I thought this was the reverse. So I am a little more relieved. I thought this guy wanted her to lose weight and had gotten her smaller sizes.
That would be, oh my God, that would be so much worse.
Right. That's what I thought. I was like, this guy's going to burn in hell. Because that would really fucking piss me off.
This guy is just going to burn in heck. Slightly less.
Let's see. My first issue, lying, right? I don't love lying. Even if the intention is right. We know it's going to bite us in the ass at some point. The tags are missing. Maybe the store doesn't do that. That's also a bad lie.
Terrible.
Not the best lie. His intentions are very sweet.
And a lot of people agree with you on that. Jerry Lynch says, NTA, this is so sweet. It sounds like you love her no matter what. I'd be so happy if someone were this thoughtful.
See, there is a very sweet part of it.
There is, and that's undeniable. But there is something also manipulative,
of course,
about it.
The main issue is she's unhappy with herself. She isn't unhappy with how he sees her. That's not her issue right now, because he is clearly very loving. And also, if he breaks up with her, please find me because I'm interested.
That's a really interesting point, because I think that's a little bit of a feminine thing. Because you're saying there's a gap between how her partner sees her. Because as a guy, I'm like, listen, the only person that I have to keep happy is my girlfriend. Like, she's going to make me wear some dumb shirt. Yeah. And as long as she's happy, I'm good to go. I can give two fucks. But for women, would you say in general, there's more of a thing of like, I need to present a certain way to the world?
Of course. She's struggling with herself right now, internally. She's struggling with her body. I mean, if you're struggling with your body, it doesn't matter who tells you it looks pretty. You're not going to believe them.
Ooh, that sucks.
That's life.
When you're in that, you're reading here a mindset.
A mindset
where there's no winning.
Correct. As someone who had an eating disorder, it didn't matter if a guy told me I looked pretty or told me he liked him. I'd be like, you're fucking psycho and blind in both eyes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck what you think. It has to do with how I feel. I feel like shit. It's wonderful when someone's reassuring you and telling you you're not shit to me, or I like your shit, or whatever it is. But it's like, I'm struggling internally. She needs to work that out with herself. You're lying to her, so she's lying to herself, which means, first of all, she's scared. Like, why did he do that? Is it because I'm so depressed? Now it's like I'm a sad person. He doesn't want to be with a sad person. There's a lot.
So the picture you're painting is she's in this kind of a black hole. So I think this is actually making me empathize with OP a lot, because he felt trapped. What is he supposed to do, Jesse? Oh,
He's sending down rope. He's sending down a ladder. He's putting down, food in case she gets hungry in the hole. What's happening in the hole? He's like, girl, you okay?
There is a sweetness here.
Yes.
His intentions were good. Nobody can come at that for him. What should he have done? That's sort of where I'm stuck.
And you have a great point, because even the fact that she was like, get me a size 6, and he's like, well, I know how this is going to end. Of course I do. We know the size 6 isn't going to fit. Maybe she knows it. Maybe she wants to prove it to herself. Maybe she needs ammo to hate herself a little harder that day. He doesn't want to see her suffer, but there's nothing that I don't think there's anything he can do to stop the suffering.
Is the move here to just let it happen?
I mean, and that's hard to say, to let it happen. I mean,
but it seems right. As a man, I'm very conditioned, and people have come at me for this, and I've learned, you don't with women in their weight. You just don't. You don't reference it. The only thing you can say is you look great. Keep it positive.
Keep it positive. Exactly.
And that's it. And that's a rule I keep in my head. And it is like the first commandment as far as that should have been in the 10 Commandments, by the way.
100%.
With women in their weight.
A man wrote it, so he didn't know. You know what I mean? If a woman had written it, she would have had all that stuff listed. Don't change my sizes. Let me be miserable sometimes. Sometimes when you are miserable, you don't need someone to necessarily tell you, no, you're not, or why are you? You just need a hug, right? Ultimately, it's going to be her voyage of self-love that gets her out of it. Him being supportive will definitely help her, but she's got some work to do, I think, on herself.
Cameron McWhorter writes, the most helpful thing you can do to help a woman with weight issues is to help by changing your diet with her and encouraging her to have the body she loves. So the way I'm seeing how that would go is she says, hey, order us some food. You're like, how about some salads tonight? You're sort of going to lead the path to like healthier food without ever being direct about it.
Sure. I would be livid.
Because why? Because you would see through that?
I get it, but that's rough too, right? Because then my first reaction would be like, what are you saying? I don't want a salad. I want a fucking Big Mac.
Okay, you're really selling me on like feeling bad for OP and where he's coming from, because I'm kind of like...
I do feel bad for him. There is no doubt in my mind he is in a very difficult situation. I think it's similar to when someone's depressed. Like this is just, he's in a tough spot. I'm not envious for him. It's very difficult. I feel like if I were him and had to confront her, like, I know you're mad at me. I was trying to help. Like, what can I do to help? I feel like there's nothing I can... What is it you want me to do? What is it you don't want me to do? Ultimately, what she's going to realize when he says, what do you want me to do? She's going to be like, you can't do anything. That's what's going to happen. You can't do anything. I have to either decide to make changes or focus on trying to love myself and my body the way it is now.
Him just asking, what do you want me to do? Mm-hmm. I can sense that you're upset. This is an issue that's happening. What can I do? It just feels like pure support.
Right.
And that feels like a much stronger answer than trick her into thinking there is no problem.
Right.
And it really is so basic. And so many of these things come back to basic things. It's like, that's just communicating. Ugh. That's all it is. Yep. It's soliciting open-ended communication from her. It's like, if you don't know what to do with your partner, just ask.
Just ask. Yeah, she'll tell you. And she might realize, wow, I put him in a really rough spot. I could see how he feels like anything he does is wrong.
Right. Right.
And maybe that's true because I'm so mad at myself. So what can I do to help myself? And also, what can I do to help my partner? I didn't realize I had him up against a wall, throwing things down a hole that I'm down. My bad.
Kevin Hendricks writes, YTA, leaving aside for a moment society's harmful obsession with the size of women's bodies, you actually did subterfuge in order to reinforce the idea that the number on someone's genes is an evaluation of their health and worth. I think this is a great point because it's like, by manipulating her, you're going to make her feel even worse because you're making it seem like, oh, these numbers are so important. Mm-hmm. Like, it really accentuates the problem and delays it. It doesn't do anything towards solving it.
And it's like, you're too much of a baby to be okay with this. I'm going to change it for you like I would my daughter, like, or someone who couldn't handle this situation. As someone who, myself, I don't step on a scale because I used to like evaluate that number as my worth completely, but you can't really avoid that in stores. Like, it sucks, but you can't. You just have to realize there's a fucking 00. And what does that mean as a human?
Yeah. That is a woman's size, a 00.
A 00?
Which really...
what is that?
That's because that's just... Isn't that just zero?
Right.
What do 2 zeros in a row mean?
I'm like, is there a waist there? What's happened to her? I want her to get help, this person. And they're different in different stores. I mean, there's such a psychological game that's going on with keeping up, and stores do different sizes so that you have to get measured by them, or like you'd have to try stuff on so it wouldn't work unless you do. And it's like, it's just it's crazy. And ultimately, if you look good in it, I hope you feel good. Yeah. That's the goal.
The insight that I'm coming to is that when you have a partner, and that could be anyone you care about, could be a friend, could be your spouse, could be anyone that you really care about, if you are manipulating them in the way he does about something that they can actually change, you're not doing them any favors. The reason this is so bad is because this is something that she ultimately can change. And it truly is on her to want to change it. That's kind of key about this, right?
It's like an alcoholic, right? You telling an alcoholic you need to stop drinking, it's almost like, hey, f you.
Yes.
Like, I know that. It has to be my choice.
Right.
I think it's difficult when you tell someone who is an addict, like, I'm not going to hang out with you anymore. It's like you're taking away their support system. You're certainly driving them to drink. The best thing you can do is be like, you're not yourself like this. Like, I don't want to see, you could say, I'm always here for you though.
Right.
Like,
I statements. I feel this way.
Yes.
I feel hurt. And I love your question. What do you want me to do?
Right. I remember when I was struggling, being like, who's going to fucking save me? And realizing like, oh, I have to save myself. I'm mad at everybody else that I have to do it. But like, I have to, you know?
Stephanie Schliss writes, NTA, if she is so fixated on numbers, she needs to talk to a doctor and probably get some counseling to deal with body dysmorphia.
Now, I don't love the way this was said.
That seems a bit much to me.
That's harsh. And as someone with body dysmorphia, like, it's the same thing. A doctor's not going to help you.
Right.
This is a journey she's got to go down. And like empathy and sort of compassion.
Yeah.
Surrounding yourself with people like that is what you need.
We have an issue in the Facebook group where people will sort of diagnose like this.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's healthy in interpersonal relationships to slang out your psychobabble. Oh, you're a narcissist. You're bipolar.
Right.
It's like, I don't think that's productive conversation.
No.
My question for you is, does this read as dysmorphia? Because like to me, this reads from what I'm trying to understand about women. This is a very standard.
I mean, it's not dysmorphia because her size has changed.
Whereas with dysmorphia, what would you expect?
Like I'm saying, if he did bring her a size 6 and it fit and she was like, I look fucking huge, he'd be like, this is the same size. You like, this is nothing's changed. So dysmorphia means like you do see yourself in a different way. Now she could have changed her body and now has escalated it in her mind to what she looks like. Because if she did fit in the size 6 jeans, she still feels bad about herself.
Right.
That hasn't, what's happening is very much mental and inside her head, and maybe has to do with just how she's dealing with the world or how she feels out of control in certain ways. Most of the time, what's funny with a lot of like eating issues or weight issues or body issues is it has to do with something else completely and loss of control. Finding control, there's healthy ways to do it and there's unhealthy ways to do it. And having people that love you and stand by you and support you during that time is huge. But then also being like, I want my life to be something different. I don't want to be concerned about this all the time.
Right.
Not taking risks, not giving my partner what I should be or making them feel so nervous around me. You know, that sucks. I don't think she realizes that right now. She's in a car driving to a cliff and she doesn't care who's in the car with her. Ultimately, she's got to stop the car. No one's going to stop the car. If you get in front of the car, she just might run you over. She's going.
Boris Kuiken writes, I've heard of gaslighting, but ass lightning? It's pretty funny, but I had to say, arrest yourself. I don't think we need puns on an issue like this, Boris.
Yeah, Boris, what are you up to, pal?
You've had a great insight here. What do you want me to do is a much better move. And I love, it's crazy to me because I thought were going to make me feel her side even more. And you did, but you actually made me feel the trap that OP was in. Nonetheless, I think this move, it came out of a place of good intentions and ineptitude. He didn't know what he was doing. You've painted a picture where I think OP is very trapped because what is he going to do? I'm definitely leaning towards he's the asshole.
I feel sympathy for him. I can see how he meant it with good intentions. He's just trying to help.
But what he did was hurtful.
He was going to be hurtful regardless. When he brings this up to her, he's going to hurt her.
This was going to hurt no matter what.
It was going to hurt no matter what, because someone's got to be like, girl, you're speeding. Got to pull over. And she's like, no, I have to, like, whoever that person is, you're about to take a bullet.
So in your view, even though there was a better way to do this, which is open and honest communication, really all we're getting here, this is the Band-Aid being pulled off. It was being pulled off in a weird way with this subterfuge, but to you, that doesn't make him an asshole because really her reaction all comes from the fact that this is a Band-Aid getting ripped off. It was going to get ripped off no matter what.
Right. He's trying not to hurt her.
But you know what? I'm down for that.
I love that.
So you're going to go no assholes here.
I really am.
AITA for changing my wife's clothing sizes without telling her. We agree. No assholes here.
No assholes here.